Every day, millions of people order products from Amazon. Boxes arrive at doors around the world. And most people think that's how Amazon makes its money. But what if I told you the most important part of Amazon's business isn't shopping at all? In fact, Amazon makes billions from something most customers never even see. And once you understand what it is, you'll never look at Amazon the same way again. Amazon is one of the biggest companies on Earth. It sells everything from phone chargers to giant TVs. Millions of packages move through its warehouses every single day. And because Amazon is so closely connected to online shopping, most people assume the company simply makes money by selling products. But that's only part of the story. Because behind the boxes, delivery trucks, and smiling logos is a business model that is far more complicated and much more profitable. To understand how Amazon actually makes money, we need to start with the thing everyone knows: the online store. Chapter 1: The Online Store. At first glance, Amazon looks simple. A customer visits the website. They buy a product. Amazon makes money. Done. Except that's not exactly how it works. For some products, Amazon buys inventory from manufacturers and then sells those products directly to customers. If Amazon buys a product for $20 and sells it for $30, the company keeps the difference. This is called retail sales, and it's still a huge part of Amazon's business. But retail has a problem. The profit margins are often very small. Amazon spends enormous amounts of money on warehouses, shipping, employees, trucks, packaging, and technology. Sometimes the company earns only a small profit on each item sold. Which raises an interesting question. If selling products isn't extremely profitable, how did Amazon become one of the richest companies in history? The answer begins with a massive shift that changed everything. Chapter 2: The Third-Party Empire. Today, many of the products sold on Amazon don't actually belong to Amazon. They belong to third-party sellers. These are independent businesses that use Amazon's platform to reach customers. And there are millions of them. Think about it. Instead of Amazon buying every product itself, other companies list their products on Amazon's website. When someone buys an item, Amazon takes a fee. Suddenly, Amazon doesn't have to own all the inventory. But it still earns money from the sale. And that's only the beginning. Many sellers also pay Amazon to store products in Amazon warehouses. This service is called Fulfillment by Amazon, or FBA. Amazon stores the products, packs the orders, ships the packages, handles customer service, and charges sellers for the privilege. In other words, Amazon gets paid before the product even reaches the customer. It's like collecting rent from millions of online businesses. And over time, these seller fees became one of Amazon's most powerful money-making machines. But there was another business growing just as fast. A business that convinced millions of people to pay Amazon every single year. Chapter 3: Amazon Prime. Imagine paying a company before you buy anything. That's exactly what Amazon Prime members do. For a yearly or monthly fee, customers get benefits like faster shipping, exclusive deals, movies, TV shows, music, and more. At first, Prime looked like a way to improve customer loyalty. But it turned into something much bigger. Because once people join Prime, they tend to shop more often. Think about your own behavior. If shipping feels free, you're more likely to buy something. Maybe even things you weren't planning to buy. Prime creates a powerful cycle. Customers pay for Prime. Customers shop more. Amazon earns more. And customers stay inside the Amazon ecosystem. Over time, Prime became one of the most successful subscription programs ever created. But even Prime isn't Amazon's most important business. The real surprise is still hiding behind the scenes. And most customers never even notice it. Chapter 4: The Secret Business. Back in the early 2000s, Amazon faced a challenge. The company needed massive amounts of computing power to run its website. Servers, storage, databases, networking systems. Building this technology was expensive. But Amazon realized something interesting. What if other companies needed the exact same infrastructure? Instead of keeping these systems for itself, Amazon decided to rent them out. That decision created Amazon Web Services, also known as AWS. And it completely changed the future of the company. Today, businesses can rent computing power from AWS instead of building giant data centers themselves. Need storage? AWS can provide it. Need servers? AWS can provide those too. Need advanced cloud technology? AWS has that as well. Companies pay Amazon to use these services. And the list of customers is enormous. Startups use AWS. Large corporations use AWS. Streaming services use AWS. Apps use AWS. Websites use AWS. Every second, countless digital services rely on Amazon's cloud infrastructure. And here's the crazy part. Most people use AWS every day without realizing it. They never see an Amazon logo. But Amazon is still making money behind the scenes. Chapter 5: Why Oz Changed Everything. This is where the story becomes incredible. Amazon's online store generates enormous revenue. But revenue and profit are not the same thing. Retail is expensive. Shipping is expensive. Warehouses are expensive. Cloud computing is different. Once the infrastructure is built, AWS can serve millions of customers at the same time. And the profit margins are often much higher. For years, AWS generated a huge share of Amazon's operating profit. In other words, the business most people never think about became one of the company's most valuable assets. It's almost like Amazon built a giant technology company hidden inside an online shopping company. And that's why investors pay such close attention to AWS. Because when AWS grows, Amazon becomes even more powerful. The company isn't just competing in retail anymore. It's helping power a large part of the internet itself. So how does Amazon actually make money? Part of it comes from selling products. Part of it comes from millions of third-party sellers. Part of it comes from Amazon Prime subscriptions. But the biggest surprise is AWS, the invisible business operating behind the scenes. The business powering websites, apps, and companies around the world. And that's what makes Amazon so fascinating. What started as an online bookstore eventually became a retail giant, a subscription powerhouse, and one of the most important technology companies on Earth. Because Amazon isn't just delivering boxes. It's delivering the infrastructure that helps power the modern internet. And once you realize that, you start to understand why Amazon became one of the most valuable companies in history.